What's going on, guys, and welcome back to a brand new video. This is Web Dev Journey, and today we're going to be talking and implementing the speakers service. I was thinking about it. I was like, what? Implementing the speaker service. All right. So basically, what we're going to be doing today, we're just going to be setting it up, registering our speaker service, and also unregistering a service on shutdown, right? So that's what we're going to be doing. And then later on, we're going to be adding the logic inside of our speaker service. What logic am I talking about? Well, remember in our speakers right here, we have all these methods. Well, basically, we're going to set it up where we're going to create routes and serve up those methods inside those routes. And you'll figure out what I'm talking about. But for right now, we're not doing that. We're just going to be setting up the generic stuff, registering our service, and also unregistering when a service shuts down, right? So let's just get started. So first of all, just to save some time, what I did was actually set up some routes for our list with short names, our names, our speakers with the short name, and artwork with short name, right? These are just routes, basic routes. They're not even implemented right now. We just have these routes right now, so that way we have them, right? And that's it. That's all I did on the service.js. That's not the important part. The important part is registering this service to our service registry and also unregistering it from here on shutdown. And we'll talk a little bit more about why do we want to unregister once we get it to that. So where are we exactly going to register our service? Well, we're going to register it once it starts running. So inside of bin run in our speaker service, still bin run right here, server.on, when it's listening, this is where we're going to start up our application. This is where we want to register our speaker service, right? So this is exactly how we're going to be doing it. We're going to be using Axios for our outbound HTTP request. And you should already know what Axios is. It's very popular, so no need to talk about what is Axios and all that. So what I'm going to do, go ahead and do is say npm i-save, or I don't even need to do that. I keep on doing it for old time's sake. Axios. And make sure you're in your service registry folder. Matter of fact, I should probably add this speaker service before I do this, so that way you have a place to check out. So let me do that really quick and then I'll get back. All right, I just added this to GitHub at this stage, so that way you have it, so that way you can follow along. So make sure to clone it or pull, and then so you can follow along. All right, now that we have Axios in our modules, what we want to do is grab that. So const Axios is going to equal require Axios. All right, and then down below we're going to be using it. So I'm gonna just create a little function. So const register service, we're going to set that equal to a function, and it's going to be shorthand because all we're going to do is say axios.put, and we do need to connect to that or put to that certain route that the one we created to register. So http // localhost 3000 /register / we do need to give it the name, the version, and the port number this service is running on. All right. So for the name and version, I'm actually pulling that out of the package.json right here, the name and version. As you can see in config.index.js, I'm actually grabbing that right there. I'm giving the package.json and actually just grabbing the name and version and putting it down here. So we could actually just call right here. We could just say config.name. I think I forgot to do the ticks. Yeah, I forgot to do the ticks. So let me do that instead of. Okay, so I got config.name and also get the version, and also we're going to need the port number, and I'm actually going to be doing this one. Copy, paste. Now, this bit of code right here is actually pretty important. The only way we're going to grab our port is literally from our server, okay? And you might be, let me actually open up service registry, bin, run. Now you might be used to this right here, the process.env.port or 3000. It's all good for right now. Anyways, for our service registry actually does need a port that is not random. It needs to be not hard coded, but you need to know where this lives, obviously, because this is the port that we need to actually, register our services. We actually need to know that port number, right? So anyways, our services, in the other hand, doesn't need I'm gonna air quote this, hard-coded port. The reason why is because we don't really care for that. We just need a random port. It doesn't really matter what it is. Because honestly, I don't want to keep on reassigning port numbers to every service that we make. I just don't want to do that. I just want that to happen randomly. And the way we do that is literally just on server.listen. We just put a 0 in there instead of the port number. Now this 0 is going to tell Node.js, hey, just assign any open port in our machine to this server, and that's it, basically, right? So now we have a random open port listening. We're listening to an open port, and we get that port number by saying server.address.port. Okay. All right. Now that we have this little function to actually register, let's actually call it register service. And one last thing I want to do. Now remember, in our service registry and our service registry.js, we have this timestamp, and this timestamp is all about, making our services expire after 30 seconds. So what we want to do is in our actual speaker service, what we want to do is send a little heartbeat over to the service registry saying that, hey, I'm still alive. Don't expire me just yet. So I'm going to do that by saying const. We're going to do that by doing set interval. I'm not going to talk about what set interval is. You should already know that. That's pretty much basic. So interval is going to equal set interval service register service, damn it, register service, and we want to do it every 20 seconds. Every 20 seconds, this is going to call register service. So now that we have that, let's actually test it out. Let me clear this. Let me actually open up another port as well and clear this as well. Inside of here, we're going to be going into service registry, clear. And on this one, this is going to be CD our speakers service. So let's actually start our service registry. This one needs to be the first one that we need to start. And it's listening on 3000. That's great. Now let's start over here. npm start. And we have it's listening. And as you can see right here, there was a put request, and we added services speaker service version 1 at our local host at port 2370. And you can see that right here is actually running on 2370. Now, if we wait 20 seconds, there we go. We should get a updated services, right? That's really, really good. So that means that we could now register, and it's updating every 20 seconds, which is a great thing. So that way it never expires. All right, going back. Now let me actually stop these. Yes. And yes, this is going to error out because obviously we're not registered no more. So let me actually get out of this. Yes, don't worry about it. And let's clear this out for right now. All right. Now that we have our register running correctly, what we want to do is actually find a way to unregister this. Now, why would you want to unregister a service? Basically, we're going to unregister a service when our application actually shuts down for some reason. Maybe it's an uncaught exception. Maybe the process just died. Or maybe we control C out of our application and it stopped the process, right? So these are three basic ways that our server can die. There's obviously tons of more, but these are the generic ones we're going to be checking for. Now, you could be more advanced and actually check for more ways of your application actually dying, but for right now, we're just implementing 3 ways our server could actually die. So right now, I do need to make another const, and this is going to be unregistered service, and we're going to be not to localhost, is actually right here. We're going to be hitting the route unregistered, right? Sending in the same things. And what we want to do is we want to right here const, I'm gonna call this, I'm gonna create a little function const, I'm gonna call it clean up, and we're gonna set that to a async function. And what do we want to do here? Well, first of all, we want to clear the interval, and we want to clear this whatever we called it, so we called it interval. And then what we want to do, we want to await unregister, we want to unregister our service. Done. Okay, now we have this little function cleanup that's going to unregister our service. Now, where do we want to call it? Well, I mentioned when a process some reason exits out for some reason, right? So we're going to be checking on process, so process dot on, and we're going to be listening to for this one we're going to do uncaught exception. All right, and what we want to do here is async is right here. We're going to await clean up, there it is. And then after that, we just want to process dot exit with the code of 0, like that. So when an uncaught exception occurs, meaning that your application more than likely is going to crash, and if it does crash, well, we're going to unregister that service, so that way that service is no longer on the service registry. We don't want it to be on there, obviously, and the reason why is because let's say that it is on there, but it crashed, right? But it's still in the service registry. So if someone gets that service for some reason, or by random, remember we're assigning this randomly. If someone gets that service, it's not going to work because obviously it crashed. So we want to unregister that so that way no one grabs it ever. So this is one way of doing it. Let's do 2 more ways. Copy. The next way we're going to be doing, or the next thing, is actually called sig. I may actually do sig int. There it is. And this is basically control C, right? And we're going to clean up there as well. And also sig term. And this is when an actual process dies. And we're going to clean up on that as well. Like I said, you could add quite a bit more if you wanted to. You could get really into depth into these things, but for right now we're just doing 3 generic kind of things: when someone controls C, or it dies, or an uncaught exception. Okay, and I think I already did it, but inside the service registry folder, in our service registry, I want to just log out that we actually unregistered, and yes, I'm actually logging that out right here. Okay, that's cool. And let's actually test one of them. We're gonna test the uncaught exception. So down below, I'm gonna just write something. We're gonna just set a set timeout, and we're going to throw a new error. Something happened. I don't know, right? Something did happen. I don't know. And we're going to do that in 10 seconds. So 1, 2, 3. Yes. So after 10 seconds, we should have a error, and we should unregister our service. So let's actually go up here, or bring the terminal back up, and let's start our service registry first. So npm start. Okay, cool. Let me actually right there, and then npm start. And you can see we just added our service registry, and after 10 seconds it should unregister because something's going to happen, right? We said that right there, something happened, and there you go. And right here we see that, hey, it unregistered it, which is really, really cool, and thank God for that. We're actually done. Wait, that's not the correct, sorry about that. That is not the correct one, and the reason why is because over here we're still putting, oh my God, this is supposed to be delete. Control save this, and let's actually start this up again. Super sorry about that, guys. No wonder. It should have given us that log. I didn't see that log. Yes, let me clear this and actually restart this one as well. Yes. Yes. All right, clear. All right, let me do it one more time. Sorry about that, guys. npm start. There we go. Let me do that and then npm start. All right, we got our added service. Let's wait 10 seconds and now you should have a literally a console log or a saying that unregistered. There we go. There we go. Unregistered services speaker service. There we go. That's awesome. 205.205.66. 205.66. Awesome. There we go. Don't forget to actually change the HTTP request to delete. So that was it for this video, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you learned something. And this was, like I said, a generic way to register our speaker service. We haven't done any logic inside of our routes. Obviously, all I wanted to do in this video was to register and unregister if there was a problem. And there we go. We actually registered gracefully, unregistered gracefully as well, which is a good thing. All right. So let me actually, I'm gonna comment this out so that way you could try it out if you want to. But that was it for this video, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you learned something today. I'm grateful that you spend your time watching my videos. It really does mean a lot to me. And also, if you like the video, please comment, subscribe, and like the video. Also, if you do feel like supporting me, I did leave a Patreon page link down below. Hit that up if you want to, if you feel like supporting me. Thank you guys so much for everything, and I will see you in the next video where we actually implement the what's it called, the speaker service routes and start doing that. All right, so thank you guys, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.